In November 2011, LaToya Ammons was focused on the immediate survival of her family. A single mother of 3, she moved her children and her mother into a budget-friendly rental in Gary, Indiana, hoping the move would provide the stability they needed to escape a cycle of poverty. Built in 1946, the house at 3860 Carolina Street was a dilapidated structure marked by a leaking roof and peeling paint. For LaToya, this wasn't a choice made for charm or history. It was a desperate last resort to keep her family sheltered. The first sign of trouble appeared a month later. Despite the freezing Indiana winter, a massive swarm of black flies suddenly infested the porch, crawling over the windows and resisting all attempts to kill them. Soon after, the family began hearing heavy, rhythmic footsteps echoing from the basement stairs late at night. While tales of hauntings are common in folklore, the case at Carolina Street is distinct. The terror inside this home was eventually cataloged and verified by the very government agencies trained to dismiss the supernatural. The activity soon turned physical. During a wake for a family member, guests watched as LaToya's 12-year-old daughter was suddenly paralyzed by an unseen force. Witnesses reported her being lifted horizontally off her bed, where she remained suspended in midair before being thrown back down. LaToya's mother, Rosa, attempted to reclaim the home through traditional spiritual rituals. She spent days tracing crosses in oil on every door and window and reciting Psalm 91 in the basement, but the manifestations only grew more frequent and more violent. Seeking an outside perspective, LaToya consulted a medium. After reviewing the details of the home's history and the family's experiences, the medium claimed the house was harbor to exactly 200 distinct demonic entities. These escalating attacks forced the family to flee the property. With their spiritual efforts exhausted, they turned to the secular world, seeking help from medical professionals and state institutions to address a crisis that appeared to defy all logic. Seeking a medical explanation for her children's erratic behavior and physical ailments, LaToya brought them to their family physician, Dr. Jeffrey Anyokwu, for a formal evaluation. The clinical setting provided no safety. During the examination, the youngest son was suddenly seized by an unseen force and thrown violently against a wall. The impact was strong enough to knock the child unconscious, leaving the medical staff in a state of shock. At the hospital, the phenomena continued in front of professional witnesses. Clinical psychologist Valerie Washington reported watching LaToya's 9-year-old son growl with an unnatural expression before he walked backward up a vertical wall, coming to a stop on the ceiling. Following standard state protocols for unexplained injuries, Child Protective Services intervened. They took temporary custody of the children, working under the assumption that LaToya was either abusing them or suffering from a psychological disorder that led her to fabricate these events. However, extensive medical and psychiatric testing provided no evidence for those theories. Specialists cleared LaToya of any mental illness and found no clinical explanation for the physical trauma her children had endured. The case effectively stalled the traditional mechanisms of child welfare. The authorities found themselves in a deadlock, holding physical evidence of events that contradicted the basic tenets of their scientific training. To resolve the conflicting reports, the Gary Police Department launched an official investigation into the property at 3860 Carolina Street. Skeptical officers who entered the basement reported a sudden, unnatural drop in temperature. One officer described a crushing sensation on his chest that made it difficult to breathe, forcing him to retreat from the room. Throughout the house, officers witnessed doors slamming on their own and window blinds that agitated violently despite the absence of any drafts or air conditioning. Forced to reconcile their duty with these observations, the officers filed formal incident reports. These documents included detailed accounts of kinetic anomalies and unexplained physical forces, turning subjective terror into a matter of public record. When the state is compelled to document such events in its official archives, the distinction between private belief and public documented danger begins to blur. With the medical and legal systems unable to provide a resolution, Father Michael Magina was authorized by the church to intervene and perform a series of formal rites. Father Magino conducted both minor and major exorcisms on LaToya. During the sessions, she reportedly suffered from violent physical convulsions and spoke in languages she had never previously encountered. Following the completion of the rites, the manifestations in the home and the behavioral changes in the children finally ceased. The immediate crisis subsided, allowing the family to seek a fresh start. With the physical manifestations no longer present and the children cleared by medical professionals, child welfare services found no further grounds for state custody. Following a standard review of the home environment, the case was closed and LaToya regained full custody of her children. In 2014, paranormal investigator Zach Bagans purchased the property to document the site's history for a film project. Bagans ultimately concluded the house remained too dangerous for any future occupants. In 2016, he had the structure completely bulldozed, leaving a vacant lot behind. The physical site was erased, but the family's ordeal didn't end. Years after leaving Gary, LaToya's 17-year-old son, the child most affected by the events in the home, died under circumstances that remain unclear to the public. Even with the house destroyed and official records documenting anomalies that defy rational explanation, a final question remains. Did the entities at Carolina Street vanish into the rubble, or did they leave a permanent mark on the family that survived them?